Hey, welcome to the January 13th, Friday the 13th edition of the Intuit Developer Friday Morning Hangout. Today we're on location for a special event. It's Hack Arizona on the campus of the University of Arizona in Tucson. With me today we have Ian and Austin. Ian is the founder of Hack Arizona, correct?
Yeah,
Correct.
one of the co-founders. But yeah, you can speak.
And Austin, you're the marketing director this year.
Yes, this year I'm the new marketing director.
Okay, great, good. And this is the
Third year.
third year for Hack Arizona. Cool. So why don't you, Ian, give us background, like kind of how you created the event, like what's some of the background of the event, and kind of what the big festivities are this weekend.
Yeah. So this is our third event. And it's our most ambitious and kind of like highly anticipated hackathon that we've had. The hackathon started in 2014, early 2014, and the motivation was behind me and a lot of the kind of founding team saw a problem in computer science curriculum. So students that would basically go to class and go home, and there was very little interaction of working on different ideas, working on personal projects, collaborating with different technical topics that we felt was really important. And we were lucky enough to have the students. We saw so many other students not lucky enough to have that. And we saw the hackathons kind of sprouting up in the collegiate space in early 2014, and we thought that that model would work really, really well here as well. Obviously, we've taken a totally different spin in a lot of different ways on what a hackathon is compared to a lot of other events. But it's a model that works really well to us. But in my perspective, it's just the start of a longer conversation about how to make students more interactive, collaborative, and creative together.
Got it. So it's really it's not about the actual what's built. It's really the fact that we're working together. So learn to work together and come up with new ideas.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And how many people are you guys expecting?
So we're expecting over 800 students from all across the country and the world. We have people coming from Canada.
Okay.
We have people trying to come from Egypt, so we'll see how that works out for them.
Wow, that's a long trip.
Yeah.
Hopefully the weather.
It's not raining.
Sure, yeah. It might rain the whole entire weekend. So, you guys, this year, if 800 is that's a little bigger than last year.
Yep.
Possibly. Okay. Got it.
Last year was about like high 600s, I think low 700s.
Got it. And more sponsors than ever. Also?
I believe so. 2 extra sponsoring organizations started last year.
2 extra organizations. Good. That's good to hear. Any interesting stories getting set up this week? I know you guys are doing lots of planning.
Yeah, I have one. Unless Austin, you want to take one? So yesterday we were waiting. So Control Collective is partnered with Red Bull and a few other organizations. They're essentially an innovation space for professional organizations. They were lucky enough to partner with us to bring their portable innovation space to our event. It includes Paint and HTC Vibes, where you can paint in real time, and then it immediately prints it in a 3D printer. Lots of really cool equipment. And the guy showed up to actually drop off the shipping container yesterday and said, "Okay, well, where's your forklift?" And we said, "What are you talking about? We thought you had a forklift." And so it ended up being like a 5-hour-long ordeal. We ended up having to make a call to like some guy in Marana that had like a 5-ton crane who drove all the way over here. We were blocking traffic over on Highland University for like a long time. And then he finally was able to lift the shipping container and we were able to drop it. And I was able to accomplish a bucket list item, which I didn't think I even had, which was attaching the cables to the shipping container.
Okay.
The crane guy let me do that, so I thought that was pretty interesting. But it wasn't how I thought I was going to spend Thursday. So.
That could have been the hack, right? You could have just knocked out the crane and just let an engineering team solve that problem.
How to figure out how to move
that shipping container without using a crane and then move that in. That's cool. That's pretty interesting. So if anybody is coming in late or maybe watches this next, doesn't go to the website to get details. What's the website?
HackArizona.org.
Okay, so if you don't go there and you're just watching this on your phone on YouTube, while you drive a car, or ride a train, or something, do you want to give them the kind of the breakdown of the weekend?
Yeah, so the weekend starts at 5, or actually technically like 4:35 p.m. We have a sponsor exhibitions. All of our sponsors will set up booths similar to career fair style, minus the awkward 2-minute conversations and resume, handing, because we already have that information and students usually happy the whole weekend, so they don't need to talk to sponsors in 2-minute words. Then we serve dinner at 6:30. Dinner, all the meals this entire weekend are completely free to students, and we give them like full catered meals. And then at 7:30, we start the opening ceremony. There'll be our wonderful keynote, James Whitaker, who's going to speak about the future of AI and machine learning. And then the whole weekend is basically hacking and tech talks and other activities. And then we end at 1 p.m. on Sunday after a little judging period before that.
What kind of exciting? I know last year I think there was a hypnotist. Like, what's exciting marketing activities are happening?
So the hypnotist is back this year, which is great. It's always everybody loves the hypnotist every single year. They're doing therapy dogs again. We have a Smash Bros Melee tournament. So if you're doing your project and you want to just take a little break, you can go downstairs and play some awesome games with some people, win some cool prizes. Let's see what else. We're doing a live stream activities throughout the entire weekend. So this year we actually have Facebook Live. So we're going to be doing that the entire weekend. We have spontaneous giveaways, which is just run and find a person, but we also have awesome activities like I think they're going to do Pictionary again. They're going to do eating contests, searching throughout the library for a person. We have a whole bunch of different things for people to do besides just hacking.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in cookies at midnight on Saturday, which will be nice. That was a big hit last year. It was people were just running around the business building. Like, where's the cookies? You could smell them. Like,
Yeah.
And so, speaking of the building, then what about the space? So, because you guys are on campus here, and you talk about the actual. It's not in this room. This is teeny, but the actual space you're in.
Yeah, so we're kind of near the mall of the university, so kind of the heart of the university, in the Science and Engineering Library. It's a 5-story building. We occupy the entire building the entire weekend, and the occupancy is in the 1,500 to 1,600 range. So we plan to try to fit as many people as we possibly can, and there's plenty of room to spread out and have different like collaborative breakout areas and things like that.
And you shut the building down.
The building is completely closed. It's
Hackers
only you have to have a hacker's own wristband to enter, which is something that in our kind of our founding story was very unique to the university. They usually didn't allow certain things like this. So it's been interesting to see how the campus reacts, and it's been very positive. But yeah, it's been interesting.
And I think last year the keynotes were kind of just in a lecture hall. You guys got to move this year to a bigger facility.
It's going to be the same facility in the 5th floor, but we've kind of bumped out the number of seats that we can fit in that area. So it'll be
but the main keynotes, I think.
Oh, the main keynotes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be in one of the biggest performance halls in Arizona, which is Centennial Hall, which has an occupancy of 3,000 people. And we're hoping to fill most of the front area.
That's awesome.
So it should be really, really exciting. That's exciting.
Good venue. Yeah. Okay. That's great. Do you guys, what's some of your favorite hacks you remember from the previous 2 years?
Oh, there's a lot.
I have one. We have last year we did a sustainability prize, and some people put cans and Red Bull cans, Arizona iced tea cans, Coca-Cola cans, just a whole bunch of trash, but they put it on a piece of cardboard. They attached Arduinos to it. When you touched each can, it made a different noise. You could almost play an instrument with cans.
Okay,
I just thought that was awesome. That they could recycle a project like that and just make something awesome with it.
Especially on a weekend like that.
I was gonna say that. I think the other two that stand out for me was there was an air-to-ground laser that somebody like 3D printed all the mechanics and the parts to it, and it was basically like a laser that could like fry a drone flying at some sort of altitude. It could just drop it right out of the sky. And the reason it sticks out is not only did it win Best Hardware last year, but it was like a very risky, ambitious project that they didn't think was going to work that ended up working, that I feel like people were like super amazed about. So that was really cool. And then the other one that sticks out in my mind was, and the name of it forgets me now, it was either like Mibu or something. But it was basically a series of beacons. So you could have like beacons in certain rooms that would collect statistics on the people in that room. So it'd be like, okay, this room has 10, 15 people in it, and it was used for conferences and events.
Okay.
And these students basically built it with tiny little Arduino boards, like over the course of the weekend. They built like an interface for it, and it looked awesome. And I think they're now trying to turn it into a company, and they're like really ambitious and kind of sold on this locations as a service sort of concept. And so yeah, that was another one that sticks out just because I think the team was super solid.
Yeah. So I know last year the drones were just huge. I think last year Arduino stuff was pretty big. Not a lot was going on with voice, not in the same way this year. Like I really feel like Alexa was like the product of the year this year, right? Yep. It's completely probably should be on the cover of Time Magazine as Person of the Year, right? And even our own hackathons, we've seen a lot of like the amount of people doing voice integrations for Alexa was just crazy. And then Google has a API.ai out, which is really impressive, right? And that kind of enables you to build chatbots really, really fast. So, I mean, do you have like what hardware do you guys have this year that you didn't have last year that you're excited about, or kind of what's new?
Yeah.
Say for people to really hack on.
Totally. Lots of new stuff. So our hardware lab is way bigger than last year. I can't even list all the things we have, but MLH increased it like 25% this last year in terms of like we have like 7 Oculus Rifts. We have those Myo armbands. We have like tons of different Apple Watches, Pebble Watches, things like that. It's interesting you bring up the Alexas. We bought 40 of them to give out throughout the weekend to different various winners. I know most of the sponsors are bringing out a ton of them. Actually, a lot of the Amazon Alexa development team are the ones coming from Amazon as well. I'm sure they will have a stockpile. And then I think the two biggest additions is we have two Microsoft HoloLens this year as a partnership with Microsoft.
Now, what are those again?
Those are the AR like kind of helmets that you can interact with things. So if you imagine what VR is, it's you're in an immersive environment.
Okay.
AR is you have elements in the environment you're looking at. So you'll have a cube, you'll be in the same room, but you'll have a cube in your hand, or you'll have a car in your hand, or something like that, or something. So
you'll physically hold something?
Yeah, and you can physically look at it and turn it into 3D space.
So it's not quite physical. So when you
I should not. I said physical.
So it's really hard to describe in words. It's really better to see it. But basically, you see your normal world. It's just like goggles in front of you, kind of like glasses, except ginormous because they have a computer on them. But when you summon the start menu with your hand, it just pops up in your hand. It's not there. It's like a hologram. And then you can click on apps, put things on the wall. Like we made a 70-inch TV with it one time and just stuck it on the wall. And then when you walk back there, it's still there. It's pretty amazing technology.
Interesting. That would be cool to see. That would be cool to see. But there's just two of those.
There's just two of them, and they're going to be a very, very like high-ticket item.
You're gonna have to do a lot of rock paper scissors to see who's gonna get to use that hardware.
And we're hoping those people are nice enough to like let people try them out throughout the weekend. So that's cool.
And so I know you have a lot of sponsorship, like almost all of Amazon's teams coming with the Alexa team. Are there any certain challenges that you're really, really excited about, like certain prizes, or some of the that are just really catching your eye? You're like, gosh, I can't wait to see what somebody builds for that challenge for that campus hardware.
Yeah, there's three that come to my mind. One is the Microsoft Diversity Challenge, so building a software application that helps people that are either minorities or in certain diverse groups. I think that's something that's just like so big. It's going to be interesting to see where people go creatively with that. And the winning team gets like $2,000. There's the other prize from Recruiting AI, which is basically they're going to give you a huge data set of recruiting data, and they're going to try to have you find an efficient way to pair employers with recruiters and see who's going to be the best match for certain companies. And that's something similar that I think giving them a whole bunch of data, students a whole bunch of data and seeing what they come up with would be awesome. And then the last one that comes to my mind is Best Flying Computer, which Latitude Engineering is sponsoring, which is such a crazy and like wacky prize name. It's going to be interesting. They're a drone company inherently, but it'll be interesting to see if people make a balloon with a computer strapped to it, or a paper airplane, or something like that. Because flying computer is a very vague term.
And Raytheon's coming again?
Raytheon is coming again.
Because I know that they lots of drones last year.
Lots of drones.
Yeah. It's a little dangerous sometimes outside.
Yeah. It'll be the same amount of drones basically this year. Yeah.
They're signing waivers before they check out that hardware, which doesn't normally happen at hackathons. You can sign a waiver before you start creating something. Are you doing any like social contests or social media type stuff? Are all the handles out there? Make sure you repeat those. What's the official hashtag?
So our official hashtag for the event is Hack Arizona, and that's pretty much it. We're doing Tech Talks, so of course to incentivize people to go to Tech Talks, we're giving away one prize at each Tech Talk. All they have to do is post on Twitter or Instagram with hashtag Hack Arizona, hashtag Tech Talk, and with a picture so we know that they're actually in the Tech Talk listening to what's going on. Then we're giving away prizes, like we said, through social media, so a whole bunch of challenges with our live stream this year. So as long as people are watching, and the Facebook link is facebook.com/hackarizona.
Got it. And then so if people are coming, it's their first time here. Some are coming as teams, right? If somebody comes as an individual, are you guys helping matchmake? Does their Slack group help with this?
Yeah, so we actually kind of revamped revamped an entire beginners, what we're calling beginner track. So the first 3 hours of the event is basically explicitly for beginners that either don't have teams or have never been to a hackathon or have very limited programming experience. The start of that is what we're calling the pitch pit, and it's going to be in the same place that the keynote is, where students are going to go up and talk about the idea they want to work on. There's going to be like a speed dating sort of concept where, I know JavaScript, I don't know any programming, we should match together. I know backend, you know front end, we should match together. Then basically after that, there's 2 or 3 really great tech talks to get them up to speed. Like what is an API by Google is the first tech talk. And the next one is agile management using Trello by Sunquest. So working on how do you work in a team? How do you prioritize features and things like that? So I think that kind of beginning 3 hours is going to be really important.
That's good. And it kind of has a little bit of a startup weekend feel. Absolutely. Where people are kind of, here's an idea I think I want to work on, but yours is better. I'll bring my skills to you instead to my idea. That's cool. Because ultimately this is about, I think my experience with, that's how you and I met, was through a startup weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
My experience with these hackathons is like, it's the people you lead with, which are almost more important than the ideas that you created. So you really make some lifelong friends and connections for sure. So I don't know, Austin, have you ever done a hackathon besides Hack
I
Arizona or
have.
Startup
So
Weekends?
I've been to UC Berkeley and Hack Harvard. So CalHacks 2.0 and then Harvard, and they were pretty interesting hackathons.
Got it. And then you've obviously done zillions.
Yeah,
I
I've
know
done
that.
zillions.
So, what's your tips? Like, maybe give your top 3 tips of what you would do, you should do at a hackathon, and maybe one thing you should never do at a hackathon.
I can go first. So
All right.
I mean, I'm in a weird place because I feel like a lot of my hackathon trips end up being like networking with other organizers and things like that. So I don't know if I've ever done like the pure competitive
You've
route.
won. You've won a Startup Weekend.
That's true. That's true.
You've done them.
I would say my idea is focus on a really small idea that you can like demo really well. I see so many, and I run into this problem too. I see so many students that try to like they think that the time that they have, which is 36 hours, is a lot of time, and they think of a very large project, and they end up not executing even 10% of it. So I found that really successful projects do one thing, they do it like extremely well, and they can demo it really well. If you can hit those 3 things, like you'll have to be very successful at hackathon.
I'm gonna give pretty standard advice. People usually don't think about this, but sleep a little bit
Yeah,
before
that's true.
before you showcase your project. Sleep. We had people passing out. Like sleep just a little bit, and you'll be all right.
So the sleep's gonna be important. Yeah, I think it's a mistake I think a lot of people do is they do bite off more than you say,
Yeah,
right? They
absolutely.
just like they're solving the problem for their 700 millionth customer and not solving the problem for customer number 1 yet. So I think it's a big mistake that a lot of people get into. You guys are letting people are. I know last year started with sleeping bags. You're letting them stay here.
So legally, we're not supposed to advise that they sleep here, but if they sleep here, nothing will happen.
We'll edit that part out.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
I know I saw a little couch out in the front. There's a teeny little.
Yeah, people will use that. And we also actually officially have showers this year, which is awesome. Like the rec center is letting any hacker with a wristband go there and take a shower with the Intuit Dev wristband.
That should make Sunday morning a little
And it'll
nicer.
make it less. Yeah, it'll make it a little bit less stuffy in here. So.
Yeah, because this room did definitely get stuffy after a while.
Yep.
That's exciting. What kind of meals? Like, what's the food situation look like?
Yeah, so we have tons of different catering options. I think like this first night is like Mexican finger foods. We have a Mediterranean dish.
Mariachi's coming.
Mariachi is coming for dinner.
Mariachis are coming for dinner.
They'll be coming at 6:30, 45, around there, sometime around there.
And this is the only hackathon mariachis.
I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen another one with
Okay.
mariachis, so that's been really good. It's also the only hackathon I know that's food served outside, which is kind of a luxury of the Sonoran Desert for the winter here. So yeah.
January
Oh, yeah.
weather.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're not getting snowed in. It's perfect weather outside.
Oh, yeah. I know some of the New York City folks from like MLH and IBM and things like that. Some of those groups were telling me that people were like fighting to try to get spots to come to this hackathon because it's like horrible in New York City and it's like nice here, so they wanted to travel and come to the event.
You keep referencing MLH. Can you kind of give some background on what that is and how you fit in? I mean, not you, but how Hack Arizona fits into that and how it fits into just general how they help each other.
Yeah. MLH is Major League Hacking, and you can think of them sort of as like the NBA of the hackathon world. So they sanction events at different hackathons, and they have certain support networks. Like they do a lot of marketing, and they're the ones providing the hardware lab. But they really, I think, at the end of the day, they help kind of make sure that the community is intact. So they make sure that we're talking with organizers from UC Berkeley or UC San Diego or something like that, things that are kind of local. And they also help connect us with this great, pool of 40,000 student hackers that are interested in coming to our events from out of state. So they've been a really great organization from the beginning. A lot of their staff are going to be here this weekend, kind of doing all these sorts of crazy prizes and activities and things like that too. So it's been really, really exciting.
And how many schools are in that?
I want to say it's over 400 now. I don't even
know.
know.
Wow.
It's
so
massive.
It's
massive.
Very,
yeah.
very
In terms of scale, like we're at 800 students, we're like probably within the top 5 to 7% of scale. Most events hit the 400 and below range. But yeah, there is a lot of hackathons kind of globally, and there's even high school hackathons that they're sponsoring now. I mean, there's a ton. Yeah.
Now, how big is your team that's putting on this event?
So the last time we checked, it's about 20 to 25 organizers.
And all students.
All student run. Everything is completely student run. Funded completely with our sponsors. There's no external money that we take. And it's about 20 to 25 people across like 6 months before that.
And then of course all the volunteers for the weekend.
Yep.
Those are definitely, we appreciate their help as well.
We have about 80 volunteers this weekend.
And then as far as like, I know that I think I talked to you before offline about some things, and like, I know you've kind of said one of your missions is like to really help other people to hackathons, encourage this to happen other places. So if I'm some student some other place, like what kind of path would, if it's like, hey, I think I'm interested in watching this, I want to do a hackathon on my own campus, like what kind of steps would you give or guidance would you give them?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to realize is like, I mean, obviously you want to steal bits and pieces from other hackathons that you go to, but you want to also recognize that your campus is different from other campuses. So problems that U of A have are different than problems that, let's say, UC Berkeley has. Recruiting being one of them. UC Berkeley, I wouldn't say, I mean, I don't know the campus intimately, but they're probably more set on recruiting than we are. So we focus, I think, a little bit more heavily on recruiting than they do at their hackathons and things like that. So I think recognizing a niche is really important. Finding a champion on your campus is great. We've been really lucky to have Bridget at the CS department has really helped us like network with certain sponsors and network with our students to make sure that they're aware of the event and everything like that. And yeah, I think just being genuine and asking for help is really important because people, when they kind of see the mission that you're trying to accomplish, will want to help with that. And I think I've seen a lot of like aspiring founders of hackathons fail because they have kind of had an ego and not really wanted to reach out for help. That's happened multiple times, I think. Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know if anybody has any questions. If anybody's watching live, if you do, just go ahead and put a question in the chat. But Austin, with you being the marketing person, is there some marketing details or something we left out here that we definitely need to cover for everybody?
I just want to say to anybody watching, hackarizona.org is now transformed into our live site. So it's a hub for the entire weekend. It's everybody's guide. You can get the entire updated schedule there. You can see exactly where to park, from like how to get from the airport. It's just a robust system that we put together, and hopefully people will use it so that I don't get a million questions. But
all mobile.
Yeah,
mobile ready.
Mobile, desktop ready, everything. It's all ready to go. If you just go to hackarizona.org, you can see our entire list of events, tech talks, everything.
Oh, that's right. Hackarizona.org.
Yes.
I think I shared it as .com to some coworker.
Oh, that's like, cool.
Oh, this is not. I don't think you guys don't have that domain.
No, I don't. I think it was. Oh, it was taken. There's another story behind that. So.
The other thing I did was I went to pull your. I was searching for Hackarizona, I think, on Twitter, and I was just watching the hashtag. But then I clicked over to look at the people. There's like 40 people that all have some version of HackAZ in their Twitter name.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting out there. But it's good to see. So people can follow on Facebook Live.
Facebook Live,
Twitter,
tweets, Snapchat, Instagram.
Is there some like cool like college, like younger kid college network that I don't even know exists yet that you guys will be using? That
No, not yet. Okay. The cool thing is we're using this year we'll be using Snapchat Spectacles to stream a lot of different snaps from our page, so that the glasses that light up and they record.
I don't know what these things are.
Wow, you haven't heard of those. Okay, whoa, okay.
So tell us about this. Let's describe this a little bit better.
So Snapchat Spectacles are glasses, just like
they look like Ray-Bans, kind of.
Okay. They have circles on each end. One is a camera. So what we have is we have a host going around, and you can press the button once for 10-second recording, twice for 20, and then 3 times for 30-second recordings.
Okay.
Basically, what it allows you to do is, in normal Snapchat, you either are in portrait or you're in landscape. Okay. This one, if you hold your phone and you're watching a Snapchat on Hackarizona Snapchat, if you look at the Snapchat, you can tilt your phone back and forth. It just automatically convert into horizontal or vertical, which is really neat. So if you want to watch it in full HD, you can turn it.
All right, cool.
So we'll have people wearing them, high-fiving people, running through crowds. It'll be pretty entertaining. Just look for a giant cactus suit with some.
Oh, the cactus is back.
Cactus suits are back.
That's another thing. Yes, mariachis, cactuses. It's very unique. Just to
I
mean, even the logo, I still insist, is one of the best logos ever created.
I think so too. We're pretty happy with it.
I mean, I have them on the back of my laptop actually, the stickers, and I always get a comment. Some people like they'll be looking at it for days or hours. And they're like, is that a swirl cactus? It'll finally like click for them, and then it's like, oh, this is genius. It's really, really cool. Cool. I don't have anything else, guys. I do appreciate you guys being guests. For everybody else watching, the next couple weeks we are going to do Hangouts. Basically, they are going to be topics from the previous QuickBooks Connect. So tune in every Friday morning. We'll be covering a different talk from QuickBooks Connect and recording those and then putting them up on YouTube, just like this video here. Right now, I'm going to try to stop the recording here, get this up on YouTube as soon as possible, so anybody that's traveling to Hackarizona could actually check it out, get some additional details before they get here. Thanks again, Ian.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Austin.
Thank you.
Awesome. We'll see everybody next week
You guys.
or tonight.